Hi, I'm Shao. In the last video I asked you to judge the poppiness of 7 different 35mm lenses. Many of you who tried to answer this challenge commented that it wasn't easy to set apart between those lenses, and I completely agree. First of all, I chose a scene where poppiness was not very easy to judge. That scene was not layered. There wasn't any foreground element, and the background was quite close to the midground. So there were not enough cues to suggest the depth of that scene, except for the rendering of the lens itself. To make things even harder, all the lenses that took part in this test are at least somewhat poppy. There are no flat lenses that participated. That is because I got rid of those very flat clinical lenses before I conducted the test. However, despite the difficulty, the results of that test were quite striking. The respondents to the survey were able to separate between two significantly different groups of lenses, where some of them were only slightly poppy and others were highly poppy. Of course, some of the lenses were in between, so they were not significantly different from either category. I asked you to rate the poppiness or the true-to-life rendition of the lenses on a scale going from 1, which represents a very flat image, to 5, that represents a highly poppy, deep, lifelike rendition, where you feel like you're inside the image, like you are wrapped by the scene. The difference between the best performing lens and the least, the worst performing lens was only about 1.3 points out of a range of 4, between 1 and 5. Which attests to the fact that all those lenses are at least slightly poppy, and neither of them is extremely poppy. So without further ado, let's go through the results, and I will also reveal the identity of the lenses that took part in this comparison. You might be surprised. The worst performing lens in this challenge was this one, the humble Nikon 35mm f2 AFD. It's a lens introduced in 1993, and its optical design, which is a double Gauss design, does not differ from previous iterations of this lens that were manual, that did not support any type of autofocus. The image made with this lens received an average score of 2.43 out of 5, and only 17% of the respondents judged its rendition as distinctly poppy, i.e. They rated it at either 4 or 5. The rating of this lens matches my experience with it. It's a poppy lens, but it's not highly poppy. It's a good lens for its size and age, but nothing exceptional. It is made of only 6 elements in 5 groups, and is a nice example of the typical primes of its time. The Nikon 35mm f2 AFD was lens number 1 in the series of photos. Next is the Light Lens Labs 35mm f2. This lens is based on an old Leica design. It's actually a quite accurate replica of that old lens designed in the 1960s. It achieved an average score of 2.65 points, and 22% of the participants rated the performance of this little lens as highly or distinctly poppy, with a score of either 4 or 5. This lens is the smallest that took part in this place, although it is quite heavy. It is clad in a brass coating and is quite substantial in the hand. It is made of 8 elements in 6 groups in a double Gauss design. The score this lens achieved is slightly lower than what I would rate it personally. In my experience, it's quite a nice and true-to-life lens that has other qualities too. Wide open, it is quite low contrast, though it's quite sharp. And it has a certain glow around the highlights that gives it some extra character, if you will. It is especially nice in prints. The image made with this lens was image number 6. Next is this lens, the Nikon 35mm f1.4Z. It's a modern lens made for the mirrorless Z system. It scored an average of 2.83 points, with 39% of the participants describing the rendition as distinctly poppy. Interestingly, it was the most polarizing lens. There were hardly any scores of 3, which is right in the middle. Many of you rated it as distinctly poppy, and many of you rated it as distinctly flat. I happen to be part of the population who rated it as highly poppy, because this is my impression from the photograph number 7 in the series. This lens consists of 11 elements in 9 groups. And in my experience, it is a nice and poppy lens with very good rendition. Albeit it's not the best in this series, according to my own estimation, my own experience with it. The next lens in this series is the Falkland 35mm f1.5 vintage. It scored an average score of 2.87, rather close to the Nikon 35mm f1.4Z. But it was a lot less polarizing. Only 30% rated this lens as distinctly poppy, but it got a lot of mid-range scores. So many of you thought it was quite average. This is the lightest lens of the ones participating in this challenge. It's 192 grams, and it's rather small for its wide aperture. Now this lens is made of 9 elements in 6 groups, and it has an interesting double aspherical design, with an aspherical element at the front and an aspherical element at the rear, which allows it to be that small. In my experience, it's not a very poppy lens. It is poppy, but it doesn't stand out. Out of all my Falkland lenses, it's one of the disappointing ones. The next lens that still had about the same score as the previous two is the Viltrox 35mm f1.8. This is one of the 2 modern lenses in this test. It's made for a few mounts and is fit for mirrorless cameras. This lens scored an average rating of 3.09, where 43% rated it as distinctly poppy. It is made of 10 elements in 8 groups, and 2 of those elements are ED elements, although those elements are quite thin. It also has 2 high refractive index elements according to its specs. The rating of this lens was slightly surprising to me. I don't like this lens very much. I find its rendering quite flat, including the photograph made in this test, which was photograph number 4 in the series. But what matters is the multitude of opinions. Now let's move on to the 2 lenses that excelled in this test. Image number 5 in this series that got a score of 3.70 with 61% of the participants rating it as distinctly poppy, was made with this lens, the Nikon 20 to 35 millimeter f2.8. Yes, it's a zoom, which might be quite surprising to you, but it's an older zoom. It was introduced in 1993, and this lens was only made for a few short years before being replaced with another Nikon lens, the 17 to 35. Now, this 20 to 35 is made of 14 elements in 11 groups. None of them are ED glass, of course, because ED glass started to be incorporated in lenses only in the late 90s. So it makes quite poppy images. This result did not surprise me. My impression of this lens is that it is highly poppy, and it produces a very true-to-life image at any of its focal lengths. It is quite a heavy lens. It's almost 600 grams, but it is much lighter than other wide-angle zooms that are more modern. Finally, the king of pop in this test was this lens, the Nikon 35mm f1.4G. It's a 2010 lens introduced just before the appearance of high megapixel cameras. So it is not fit for resolving very fine details on those very high resolution sensors. The image made with it was number 3 in the series. It is made of 10 elements in 7 groups and is quite a large lens. The average score the image made with it received was 3.74, with 70% of the participants agreeing that it is distinctly poppy. I totally agree with the assessment of the participants of this survey. This is a lens that I really like. It is always poppy. It represents a whole series of Nikon primes, the f1.4 series, that is characterized by this very true-to-life and poppy rendition. The lens filming me now is one of my favorites. It's the Thypoc 28mm f1.4, which is also a very poppy and lifelike lens. But let me switch to another lens, which is the brother of this 35mm f1.4G in 28mm. As you can probably see, there is not much between those two lenses. Of course, they are completely different designs and represent two separate eras and two very different systems that are made for. But they both render very beautifully. The results revealed in this test did not match very well the previous models I proposed to predict the poppiness of lenses. That is because those models were quite crude. There were tools designed to separate between flat lenses and poppy lenses, gross groups. But in this case, the lenses were quite close to each other in their rendering. So we need a new model that is more granular, that can give us a clue or a way to predict the degree of pop, not only the answer to the question whether it exists or it doesn't. One thing I noticed was the difference in size, or the difference in weight between lenses that scored well in this test and lenses that scored the worst. Let's take, for example, the two extremes. This little lens had the worst score, and this one, which is about 3 times as heavy, had the highest score. So I wondered whether there is a way to express the weight of the glass and use it as a variable in the model. To estimate the weight of glass in a lens, we have to go quite deep, so please bear with me. The easiest way would be to take each of those lenses apart and separate the glass from the construction and the AF motor and all the electronics in it, and weigh just the glass elements. But well, I'm not rich enough to do it, considering that I will not be able to assemble those lenses afterwards. So instead, I just try to estimate relative part of each of the materials making the lens. So first of all, I refer to the material the lens is made of. In lenses that are clad in plastic, I estimated the portion of the glass as 85% of the weight. In lenses such as this Falklander that are made of aluminium or other light metals, I estimated the portion of glass as 80% of the weight. And in lenses made of heavier metal, like this light lens lab, I estimated the portion of glass as 60% of the total weight of the lens. In the case where there is an autofocusing motor inside the lens and some electronics, I removed another 5% of the total weight of the lens to express those. Now, there is the case of this zoom lens. It's a wide-angle zoom, so it is designed to capture quite a wide field of view. In fact, at 20 millimeters, its angle of view is 94%, while at 35 millimeter, the focal length I used it for this test, the angle of view is only 63 degrees. So I made a quite elaborate calculation and found that in order to capture a 35 millimeter field of view, this lens would need only 1/3 of the diameter of glass that it contains. And that would translate into only 1/3 of the weight of the glass. Now, of course, the maximum aperture plays an important role in the design of lenses. And to normalize it, I calculated the aperture area at the minimum F number. So what was really interesting to me as a variable is the mass of glass per aperture area, or per square millimeter of aperture area. And, this way we can level the ground. And, I used two variables in a linear model to predict the poppiness of those 7 lenses. It's not really predicting, it's predicting in retrospect. This model has to be validated with other lenses that did not take part in this comparison. Anyway, those two variables were the mass of glass per aperture area, which I described before, and the group complexity, which also had an apparent significance in explaining the results obtained from this survey. The two variables together gave a linear response that explained about 96% of the variability in true-to-life rendering scores. 6 of the lenses sit nicely on the predictive curve, but one of them seems to punch above its weight, and it is this one, the Nikon 35 f1.4Z, which got a slightly higher score than the model would suggest, although it's still inside the significance level. So how might the specific weight of glass, or the weight of glass per aperture area, affect the perception of depth from the photographs made by a certain lens? Well, the weight of glass is determined by two factors. The thickness of the glass element and its density. Both thickness and density promote a slowing down of light transmission. When light passes from air to a solid or a liquid transparent medium, it changes its angle, and its actual speed is slowed down. Now, this change of angle promotes both refraction and dispersion. And according to my hypothesis, it is the dispersion, the separation of light into its components, into its specific wavelengths, that allows the lens to extract more tonal nuance, or a more gradual, moderate tonal transition from shadows to highlights that imitates the processes the light goes through while passing through our eyes. So the rendition of the entire image looks more natural to us. One might look at a complex group, a group that is made by more than one element cemented together, as a single element that is thicker than its individual components, because there is a transition of the light angle inside that element. And this is why the average group complexity also contributes to the poppiness of lenses. I still have to explore these phenomenons and try to think of maybe a better hypothesis to relate between the specific weight of the glass and the rendering. One clue is to compare the images made by the Nikon 35mm AFD, which scored the worst in this test, and the Nikon 20-35 zoom, that was one of the best scoring lenses in the test. Both lenses were made in the film era, so they were not very well corrected for aberrations, for vignetting or for color fringing, chromatic aberration. And you can clearly see the difference in color fringing between those lenses. The zoom, the 20-35, has much more color fringing than the prime, the 35mm AFD. And it still scored better in the poppiness test. It demonstrates the connection between light dispersion to the perception of 3D pop in images, which confirms my hypothesis that those two phenomena are deeply related, the same thing. I hope this video was not too boring for you, that you managed to keep up until this point. Anyway, if you like this video and find it interesting and helpful in any way, please consider buying me a coffee. There's a link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and see you again soon.